Here we are at video 3, picking up where we left off. We found this data, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and we are going to copy this URL like that. Make sure it's got the HTTPS at the beginning, and then we're going to go to ChatGPT to have it write code for us. So to do that, we need to sign in to Google Colab. And I've started that. I had to actually sign out, and now I'm signing back in. I'm at colab.research.google.com, and I click my Google. It verifies that I am who I am, and I should get a new page up. At least I hope so. Okay, so I am going to clear this out. And yep, so it went back right back to where I was. All right, but you should get something like this. This might be collapsed over here. I can make it come back by clicking these three, but I hit a plus code. You might find that the very first time you see something just like this. All right, so you are going to need to become a somewhat adept AI engineer, and that is talking with ChatGPT to get it to write code that will run. This is Python code that tells Colab how to process that data. You don't need to understand it perfectly, but the essential idea is just that data sets can be so large that you don't bring them into your computer because it would just be a phenomenal amount of memory. We have these sites that will talk to places that have the data, and then it'll filter it, and it'll do a lot of computation, calculation, and then it'll return a much, much smaller set of data to us. So this is a wonderful thing. We're going to use it in all of our projects this year. We're starting out simply with buoy data, something that we could probably do the old way, but we're going to do it the new way so we get good at it. All right, I am going to go to this resource page for you guys where I have to sign back in, and there I am. Here are on this page some equations that you can do regressions with. Down here though is how you can interface with AI to get Python instructions. All right, so I'll let you pause this video and read it. You also have a link to this. I'm just going to go down to this part here at the bottom where there's just a little example. You can kind of copy and paste it and then fill in what you need. And so that's what I did here. And you'll see it's quite different, but still following along in the same idea that you want to be very specific and say exactly what you need. In this case, in my project, my Imagine project, I need about 52 data values. I'm looking at the temperature and of the air and the water over 1 year. And so I asked for that quite explicitly. I'd like the weeks to be numbered, week 1, week 2, week 3, because it's way easier than trying to get a graph to display months and weeks like that. Also, I'd like the Colab to create graphs for me, so I just get a basic sense of what's working. And you'll see that this is going to kind of provide a story of how you do this and all the things that can go wrong and then ultimately, hopefully, go right. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT here, and I'm going to go way up to the beginning. I actually started an earlier video with this, and then it just got to be a little bit long and cumbersome, but it ultimately worked. So I could have made a 20-minute video. I'm hoping to do this in about 7 or 8. So I just start off with, I have a question about writing code that helps ChatGPT at least have a focus. And then it says, what's your question? And then here's what I cut and pasted, but then I also pasted in the URL. Here's the URL for the data. That's what came off of the buoy data, okay? And then it returns an explanation of what this code does. And so I got this code, okay? And I'll just show you how I copy it like this, and then I go up to my Colab and I paste it in like that, and you'll see it's going to give me an error. All right, I just hit the this is the run, and off it goes. And sometimes it actually takes a while to think, especially if it has some sort of error. It gets into a death spiral or something. But there it is. It's returning this Not totally sure what it is, but clearly there's some sort of a bad file in there. Anyway, I just copied that exactly as it appeared. I went back to ChatGPT. You'll see I said, I got this error message. There's the bad file. And then I just said that, and it comes back with an explanation, and it has another code. And so then I copied that code and I ran it, and I got another error. And I said it seemed to run well. It drew a graph, but the graph was blank. Okay, so it fixed one thing and then had an issue. And then I also got some output afterwards, which I also copied and pasted. And then it gave me an explanation, and then it updated the code again. So then I copied that code and put it in. And then you'll see again, I got some error, and I copied and pasted that. And it tells me what the error is doing, and then it gives me more code. So you might have to do this 5, 6, 7 times. Be patient and keep saying, let me know if I need to tweak it. And I'm saying this time there was a new error, please fix. And I went through that, and then it explains again what the error was. So what I've lost count about, this is like 5th time. And then finally it worked quite well. But the graph it produced, well, actually, I'll show you because this might happen to you. I'll copy this code, and I go back to my Colab, and I will just hit the garbage can over here, and then I'll get a new code box, paste it in, okay, and run it again. And okay, so look at that. It gives me my 52 data points, and then the graph had these weird glitches where it says it's 1,000 degrees on day 20, okay? And it looks like it's 200 degrees Celsius on day 50. So clearly something's going wrong there. So I went back to ChatGPT, and I said, the code worked very well. It did have some anomalies, and I talked about the temperature issue, and I said, write code so that it ignores any values that are extreme and out of range, and then averaging the remaining values for that week. Okay, so if an entire week is missing it, I tell it just to skip that value or repeat the average. Okay, there may be a better way to do that, but at least this is an attempt at getting it to work. So then I will copy this and go back, and you'll get good at doing this. I'm again going to ditch that and start over. You can build sometimes one after the other, but in this case I'm starting from scratch. I hit run, and it's thinking, and after 3 seconds it produces a much more reasonable graph. Maybe this point down here is an anomaly, but maybe it was if that's air temperature, yeah, so the air temperature was below freezing. That actually makes a lot of sense. And so there's my data, okay? And this data now, 52 data points, I should be able to work with this pretty easily in Desmos, where I can then plot these points, and I can build models in Desmos based on what I think would best model this, and do my calculus analysis from there. Okay? Hopefully that's a help. Good luck, everybody.